Talking Civics with Robert E. Williams. Um, One of the things I want us to think about, I've touched on the tape before, but it's something we got to reiterate. Balance is our biggest challenge. Nobody's going to like everything that somebody does. 100% is a hard thing to achieve. And when we get to politics and we talk about politics, yes, most politicians sound flip-flop. Are they really flip-flop or are they trying to balance? Now, I'm not taking away from all the stories you hear about the people doing extra stuff, but are they really being slimy? Maybe. But sometimes they're trying to balance an equation: local, state, and federal. We know when we look at many news networks, these things come off very aggressive and there's a lot of hatred. This news station said this way, that one says it that way. But this is why we got to get back to more factual information. And once you read factual information and you have a different interpretation on what happened, then that's different than just emotional. So if it's a fact that certain things happen, even if you don't like it, but if something happened and you got the proof to show what something caused or what it didn't cause or what should have been cut or what needed to be increased, we got to ask more questions to get that information. Because we get more information, not less, it makes it easier for us to move on with our daily lives and don't focus so much attention on things that sometimes is a distraction. And we got to be careful. I'm going to dive into one of the things on civics. We have an organization called ICE in the city, the state, and the country. The purpose of ICE, you can look it up, I looked it up, is to deal with illegal immigrants. Look it up. It was started, I'm going to say founded because it wasn't founded, it was a government agency. I'm sorry about that. It was started around after 9/11. They created Homeland Security, was formed after 9/11, and ICE was formed in 2003 under Homeland Security. So these are federal agencies. I hated 9/11, like many of us have. I hate the fact that we got TSA, we go through the airport, and you just can't walk up to the terminal. You got to go through checks. You got to go through with sandals on or have less clothes on when you go to the airport now. That was a result of 9/11. There's been some discussion around ICE doing their job. And I know politically that we're looking at the current administration utilizing ICE, and there's a big ruckus around the necessity of ICE and how they go about doing their job. It is maybe a challenge, but it is still a job that needs to be done. It's about illegal immigrants. Now, immigration, look it up. Been in this country, if no other time, for years. 1908, 1910, Ellis Island, the big migration coming to America. Immigration departments were formed throughout the country. They have a system, they have a process. You have immigration lawyers. You have many people fighting for immigrants. You have many people fighting for the transition of immigrants when they have a challenge, one way or the other. So if ICE's job is with illegal immigrants, and we are speaking about put ICE out of the city, look at the possible slippery slope. That's a federal agency. So we say ICE out, I guess we're going to say Homeland Security out. We say ICE out, I guess we need to say FBI out. DEA out. I don't know if DEA is federal. I think it is. It seems like it's federal. You have a lot of agencies that are always going around doing the job of fighting different criminal activity. ICE job is for illegal immigrants. Now, people can state that some people have been deported and were citizens. I'm sorry that has happened, but we do have congressmen, we got senators, We got immigrant lawyers. We got systems in place to fight properly for that. And guess what I realized? We, as black freedmen people, don't do enough of. Somebody's always suing the government, and somebody's always getting compensation. So in this situation where ICE has done that, or are doing that, hey, sometimes we got to use the system that's here, and it actually can reward financially when the errors occur. In the previous administrations, when ICE did their job, there were deaths. People got killed. I don't know who, why, what, when, or where, but you look up the records, go to Google, go to chat, go to any AI, and you do the research, how many people were killed since ISIS were formed, and look up the years, and then look up what administrations were responsible for ICE at that time. It was founded after 9/11, people. And when people are encouraged to fight against ICE in the street, I have a good friend of mine, how we say from the streets, and he said all the stuff he did growing up, he was a really great dude in many, many ways, but he said, I never volunteered to get locked up or get shot by the cops. He said, if I'm dirty and I know I'm dirty, he said, I learned how to respect the police. That's how he might have did what he did, but yet he lived. To encourage people to fight against ICE. These people have a badge and a gun. We can like them or not. That's why we got to be concerned with our Congress people. We got to be concerned with our senators. We got to be concerned with all of our elected officials to do their job. And there's one thing we seem to forget. We always looking at we look at the challenge of being elected, or who know who, the big lobbyists, the people putting money in people's campaign, and in Philadelphia, the ward leaders being controlled, and then the committee people following. Guess what? The people still got the power, because every local election is one man, one vote. The president election is based upon electoral college. But if you think about it, it's the people that still got more power than we realize. We just can't give it up and have a constructive fight. So when it comes to concerns about ICE overextending, there are many, many things in place. But to go against this federal agency and have citizens getting in the way of them doing their job, whether you like it or not, and every black freedman person has been a victim of this for a couple of 100 years now, definitely during the Jim Crow era, the power of the badge and the gun. We have already experienced that through the history of us being black freedmen people in this country. We've already experienced that power. We try to work hard to loosen that power. We have had campaigns about defund the police or other things to loosen, to make sure that, we don't feel like such a target. I can't speak for that in the city of Philadelphia myself, but there are definitely parts of the country where that badge and that gun has a power. We want to be behind the people that's controlling the power. But right now, ICE got the power with the badge and the gun. So when we say ICE out and they're doing their job, that don't stop them from coming in, people. That just creates a possible dangerous situation. I'm not the most patriotic person. I'm not the most, person that's going to, jump up. I don't even know if I salute the flag all the time. But this is civic conversation. The system is the system. We got to talk more civics of how the system works on every issue and think it through unlike ever before. And let's get stronger. That energy that was around ICE out was a lot of wasted time and resources. And for my beautiful city of Philadelphia to pass, I ain't even want to read it, to pass any type of bill that supports ICE out, that's just stupid. That's just really stupid. Because that's very, very dangerous. Because I don't know what that looks like if the city of Philadelphia is now saying ICE is out and they're coming in to do their job. They got the law in their hand. Y'all talk about the Supreme Court. Do y'all really want ICE to be in a situation with the regular citizens and have to go whatever need to happen, and they take it to court and they fighting it, and it's get to the Supreme Court. People complain about the justices, but y'all think about that justice or who that's going to favor. Looking at the momentum of how things are going, and these people trying to buy what they think is a constitution, and this is a federal agency under the directions of the government doing the job, but they feel is to protect the government based upon the history of 9/11. Do we really want to get the average citizen caught in that? That's my thinking for thinking it wasn't the best idea to support any legislation for ICE out. There's another way to handle it. There's another way we need to do it. And on the heels of that, Philadelphia is a sanctuary city. And this is hopefully this becomes a discussion for many. To my interpretation, comprehension, or understanding, if someone is truly, you have a lot of people that have been victimized from around the world. Seems like child trafficking is a real issue. It seems like if we find a group of young people that are being abused from another country, I think it's a beautiful idea to get them that family sanctuary and help them get their life back together, to connect with their family, their people, even adopt. I think things like that are commendable. It shows our spirit, it shows our integrity, and it shows our heart. When we are talking about victimized people from other countries, that's something that needs to really be discussed. And I'm all supportive of doing what we need to do to help those people out or that family out. And last thing on that note of immigration, I talked to friends of mine that are from other countries. And I asked them about the process, what would it take for me to become a citizen in their country? In the future tapings, I look forward to some of these individuals just sharing what it takes to become a citizen in their country. Because every country around the world has a process. They got laws in other lands, but I go with American attitude in some of these people's countries. You will get caned, you will be in a lot of trouble. The way that we operate in America, we go to other people's countries, we will find out that you don't operate the same. They're not horrible places. They just have their rules and regulations. So that's a respect that hopefully from discussion of civics and finding a way to get over the emotion and try to get to some facts, that we could be a little bit stronger. But be very careful of encouraging average citizens to go against a federal agent with a badge and a gun. That's just really scary. Thank you.